Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode of the BS Bar where you are getting more booze and reviews. This is a weekly after hours podcast from BS Drunk Movie Reviews, and we will be uploading the video version of this to our YouTube channel at the next season. But you guys, our paid members, get it first, so you can also check out all of our stuff there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my sister Vetta and co-host Vetta.
Hi, guys.
Right on. And on this episode, we are going to continue with our series of Jurassic Park, and we are going to do Jurassic Park: The Lost World, which Jurassic Park 2, pretty much. I don't understand the whole subtitle, but whatever, it's fine.
It's because it's the second island and it was the Lost World.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I have thoughts on the Lost World, the second island. Vetta, did you see this movie in theaters like I did?
I saw all of the original Jurassic
Me
Parks.
too. Yeah,
in the
I'm in the same boat.
And I think I saw the first two, Jurassic World. I think I saw in theaters.
Well, yeah, it goes Jurassic Park Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, no, I meant the newer ones, Jurassic World. I think that one I saw in the theaters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think the other ones I saw when they came out on streaming.
I saw the first two in theaters, and then the third one.
I don't remember how many I seen. COVID really, makes me forget when the last time I've seen shit for real. So
yeah, for real, sister. Okay. All right. So before we get started, let's talk about what we are drinking. Vetta, most important question: what are you drinking, sister?
So I have two.
Oh my god, that blue one looks delicious. I mean, I'm jealous.
This is made by Bacardi. It is a pre-mixed drink.
Oh, that looks
it comes
so
in this
good.
big liter. It's actually called Zombie. Because I love everything zombies. Like, I love zombie movies, whatever. And then I have a rum and Coke because I have a feeling this one's gonna go down very fast, and we have the whole show. So I've got a rum and Coke to finish her up.
You never go wrong with a rum and Coke, but that blue one looks delicious, sister.
It's pretty good.
I'm jealous. Okay, so right now I am drinking a rosé. Now, listen, first off, I had champagne at the beginning of the night because in the opening scene, the rich family, the rich assholes, they're drinking champagne and stuff. So I had champagne, but that went by real freaking fast. I'm pretty tipsy right now. So, and my wife, she popped a bottle of these little mini things that you'd sent to me. Long story short, watch our other episodes, but she popped a bottle of rosé and she didn't care for it too much, but I was like, share these,
You're like, wait, you don't care for it? Guess what? It's my new fave.
Yeah, that is exactly how it is. I'm like, don't waste it. Give it to daddy. Daddy's excited.
I'm that person that even if I order a drink and I taste it and I'm like, that cost me $12.
Oh, sister, I'm the same way. I'm very much like, I do not waste alcohol. Like, if it's even rubbing alcohol, I'm like, why are you wasting it? Give it to daddy.
Even if it tastes bad, do it like a shot. Almost every shot is bad. Yeah. How many shots do you go, oh, I wish this was a regular sized drink because it's so good.
Right. Me and you are in the same boat. I do not, you don't waste alcohol. Even if I vomit it out, I drink
There are poor people around the world that can't even afford alcohol.
Yeah, don't be selfish.
Right.
First world problems. Okay. All right. So let's get started on this movie. Okay, Vetta, I just want to tell you right now, even though this movie is not the best of the original trilogy, it's probably my least favorite of the trilogy. I still love this movie. I don't know how you feel about this movie. Go ahead.
See, you said it was your least favorite. The next one is my least favorite.
Oh gosh, I love this
movie. It literally goes 1, 2, 3 for me. The first one is my favorite. The second, and I would probably say it probably continues that way through the whole series. Like, their number is probably my favorite. Like, that's probably the order.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
I like them, and I liked this one. I mean, I have problems with it now as an adult, but that still doesn't mean I'm not. I mean, when we decided to do this franchise, I marked all of them I put them on my list. I have watched every single Jurassic Park in like the last month, probably a dozen times each. Like every time I'm like, there's nothing on TV. I don't know what to watch. I can't sleep. I'm going to put something on. It's a Jurassic Park movie and I'm never upset about it.
No, I'm in the same boat. Like even the next ones, which we do review, but I still love all of them. I don't know what it
Even
is.
the animated one. What the hell was that one called? Like there's an animated one that came
The
out with the new
show?
one. No. There's I think it's a show, whatever. It's like
Yeah, I
called
don't
The
watch
Big
that.
Rock or something like that. Or
Oh no, that's like a short.
yeah.
We
Like
should react to that. Ooh, honey girl. We're
yeah,
gonna
what is
react to
it
that.
called? Yeah, I think it's called The Battle at the Rock or The Big Rock or something like that, but
I'm
it's like an
looking it up
anime.
right now as
Even
we
that
talk.
one doesn't even that one I'm like, "Oh, I like it. I like it." It
Yeah.
doesn't make me mad at all. I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I love these movies. Sorry, I'm looking up right now. Battle at Big Rock. We're gonna
Yeah.
react to that. But yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I love these movies. It's great. All right, let's get started on this movie. Sorry, I'm just checking this out because we're gonna
Oh
talk.
no, you're fine.
All right. So breaking this thing down. Okay, opening scene. Okay, I want to talk about this one because I have thoughts on this one. So we
So many
start off.
thoughts about this. I have so many too.
Oh my gosh, right? So we start. So this is the second island, De las Tres Mortas. I don't know what it's called. I just call it that.
The Five Islands of Death.
Yeah, the Five Islands of Death. So we start off on this second island, which we're gonna talk about because all right, and we start off with these rich people. And I just want to say I love how they like they're so opulent. They get champagne and the dad is all
But
and
this is my question. And granted, I'm enough. I don't have a yacht. I can't rent a, like there's that show on TV where people can rent a yacht and everything and you watch it. So I don't know, but when you're on a big yacht, can you just pull over to any island and say, set me up lunch on that island? Because isn't that trespassing? So,
right, yeah.
like later you hear that they sue because things happen to their daughter on this island, but can they, I mean, people sue over everything, but they were trespassing. So can't there be a
Right.
counter suit to that? I'm just like, who just up and says, that's like being uber rich and being in a limousine and going, pull over to that house. I have to go to the bathroom.
Right. Yeah, it's so much that even the wife, she goes up to the champagne instead of pouring it herself. She's like, Charlie, will you, Charlie? And she wants him to pour the champagne. I'm like, bitch, it's a drink. Like it's alcohol. I would pour it myself. I'm perfectly capable.
You're
Oh,
froze.
yeah. Okay, you're back now. All right. Hold on. Give me 2
So
seconds.
you were talking about the wife going up to the champagne and then decides. I'm assuming you were going to say it was the scene where she was going to pour her own and then thought twice about it. It was
Yes,
Ed
that's
Wood.
exactly. Yeah, hold on. All right, 2 seconds. I'm going to switch over. 2 seconds. Ready? Go. All right, you're back now. All right. Okay. All right. So, yeah, no, I just like and so the little girl and the little girl goes off and she's like doing her own thing and she's like, "Why are you being so weird, mom?" And I'm like, "I totally get that,
And
you know?"
she's super happy about her little roast beef sandwich or slice or whatever that guy handed her.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't like prawns.
Yeah, which I'm like, who doesn't like prawns? It's shellfish. I'm like, you're weird, okay? Because shellfish is so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I love me some good seafood. Oh,
Yeah.
especially shellfish, crab, shrimp,
Oh my God. Yeah. So
lobster.
good.
Oh,
Yeah. And so she gets attacked by those little dinosaurs, the compies or whatever.
yeah, the
And
ones that have never seen a human before, so they're not that the guy shocks later.
yeah, for sure. And I
Yeah.
want to talk about that guy because that guy was like a weirdo. And so she gets attacked, and I love how okay. So I wrote down right off the bat, I go, it's annoying that most of the kills are off screen. I don't know how this is the most annoying part of this movie to me, but other than that,
so different from the first one. Like we got to see the people get flung up in the air and eaten and snapped in half and torn at by the raptor, you know, in the first one, or the arms coming off and attack, you know. And so now to come to the one where the people are swallowed whole, or you don't see it off screen, you just see a leg or some shit. Yeah, I agree.
It was super obnoxious. And I love how the mom was all like, and then it transports over to Ian Malcolm, like all like yawning in the subway.
And this is my thing. When you think of the way the mom and dad reacted and all of their little servants and whatever, but then you hear Hammond go, "Oh, don't worry, she's fine." I'm like,
right.
Is she though? Because their reactions made me think she's dead, but you know she doesn't die. But I'm like,
and from what we know from the copies later on, it's like they're not just like, you know, it's not like she brushed her teeth. It was like she had a problem, you know, it was gingivitis. Okay.
Right.
So then we move on to the subway scene with Ian Malcolm. And I love, okay, I mentioned the scene because I love this guy who comes up next to him. He's like, "You're the guy, the scientist," like, rah, rah. And and I'm all like, don't be weird, dude. Like back off. Or you're being weird right now.
Women on the train who are just giving him the look
those
of
yentas, right? Those old yentas. I totally, and they were looking at him like he was scum, and I was like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here with your judgmental nonsense."
They're like 19, or they're like early 2000 Karens that are 2 seconds away from calling the cops.
So true. Yeah.
How dare that fake dinosaur doctor be in our presence? Call somebody.
Right. Yeah. I was more annoyed with them than anybody else in this movie. Like, oh, fuck you judgmental yentas.
I did really like the subway guy with his little
yeah. It was pretty good. And I love how he like waved it off, like, oh, whatever, you're not gonna go along with it. But I was like, come on, Ian, go. This is a fan. Go with it.
Right.
But then he goes to
Hammond's because he's been summoned.
He's been summoned, yes. Oh, I love it. And I love how the butler, like, he like looked through the window like it was like a secret club or whatever. It was so weird. And then he's like
he was gonna be like, "Password, please."
Yeah, oh my god, exactly. And then like he's like, "I've been summoned." And that I did like, and one thing that I do, and me and you will review these later because I've seen them before. I don't know if you've seen them before, but one criticism I have of the Jurassic World franchises, they didn't have Timmy and Ellie in there, or Timmy.
They did not utilize any of the previous characters.
Yeah, and I go, they're right here in this movie, and they only were in this one scene, but I appreciated that. And same thing with John Hammond. Right. They were. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say absolutely. Why couldn't they? They could have showed like a commercial on TV, and they could have been in the ad. Like, when this was my grandpa's original vision, you know, I just wish he was here to see it. And then it'd been like, you know, come to Jurassic World or whatever.
Yes.
Like, they could have done something where they could have shot it in 20 minutes and they could have been offset and done, because you know they didn't spend more than half a day on set to film that. So right. They and let's be honest, Lex and Timmy aren't doing anything these days. They have time.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah.
But they didn't bring back anybody, did they? Yeah, they don't really.
They did in the third one.
Well, yeah, in the third one, but I mean in the first two, which I'm like, they could have.
Oh yeah, for sure. They could have totally brought back the entire
Dr. Wong or Dr. Wu is the only one that is in like all of them.
Yeah, for sure. And he has you know, stuff going on in those movies. We'll talk about them in our reviews and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we meet now is the nephew of John Hammond, which is played by, I don't remember this guy's name. Hold on, I'm looking it up.
What the hell is his name? I don't even remember.
Peter Lubo, and he's
his last name's like Howard.
Yeah, he's played by Arliss Howard. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. I'm like,
So
I
this
know.
guy, okay, so we bring him in and he's signing papers and everything. He's totally a soy boy and everything. Because he's all like, he's not as cool as John Hammond, but he's taken over Engine? Is that the name of the company?
Yeah, Engine.
Sorry, I've been drinking so
yep.
much. I'm gonna slur my words. And everything. So he's taken over and
talk about a Nepo kid.
Oh my God, a Nepo baby. Ain't that the truth?
Oh, he is the epitome of it with his whole my suit costs more than your education.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh my God. That line drove me mental because I was like, oh, fuck you. Your suit cost 150 million.
Yes, thank you. He's
or 150,000.
He's a doctor. More than that, because he did undergrad, he did grad, and then he did his PhD. That's like 250, 250,
yeah.
something like
I'm
that.
like,
no suit costs that much money, and if it does, you should be burned at the stake for paying that.
Exactly. I was in the same boat. Okay, so then he meets with John Hammond, right? And he tells him that he's gathered up a team of 4 people, right? Some dude, an arms person, the guy that did all the guns, and stuff,
photographer,
the photographer, guy. Which is
I don't
Vince
know what their
Vaughn.
official. This is just my little
and Julianne Moore
thing.
Who
right,
plays
a paleontologist, because he knows exactly what's going to happen when he mentioned. Can we just talk about though why after Hammond lived through the first Jurassic Park is he just as giddy about the second island as he was about the first? Why is Ian the only rational person in this on the do you not remember the because when they get to the island and he's all like they're all oohing and on, he's like, oh yeah, the oohing and the eyeing and then the screaming and the running, and he tells Nick when he meets him, Vince Vaughn, he's like wild goose chase, and goes, no, this is the only place where the goose will chase you, you know?
I agree with you. I think that John Hammond's gone all like woke a little bit because he's all like, we need to leave these animals the way they are and let them be preserved in the way they are.
The original woke.
Yeah, like get out of here, like with your nonsense. Like these are dinosaurs; they should be dead.
There's dinosaurs; they should be dead, and they will eat you.
Yeah, they will eat you for sure, alive and everything.
Right.
But I did like seeing this actor. I don't remember the actor's name for this, and then it was
Hammond's name. It's like it's a really weird last name. It's like Richard something. I don't remember. It's a really long last name, I think.
Right on. Hold on. It's Richard Attenborough.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have it up here while I'm so he convinces Ian Malcolm to go because he sent his girlfriend Sarah.
I was just gonna say, does he convince him or does he kind of twist his arm? Because Ian says this is no longer an expedition, it's a rescue mission.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And so then he goes to the shop where all the fun toys are being made, right? And they're getting this very cool like RV with a double like thing attached,
like an armored RV. It's like something you'd see in a zombie movie. It really is, like before they did those things.
Yeah, it's very cool. And then Ian Malcolm is just bitching about the satellite phone. And then Vince Vaughn shows up, right? And he's a photographer. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this guy. I have so many thoughts on this guy. He's an asshole. Okay.
Well, so then, can we just say the most honest thing he says is when he says he joined Greenpeace for the women.
The women,
80% women.
yeah. That's the only part. I love how later on he's all like, John Hammond knew they were coming, so he sent a backup. And they're like, what's the backup? He's like, me. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here with your fat ass.
Photographer. Shut up. What are you gonna do? Shutter him to death?
Yeah, I'm not intimidated by you by at all. Okay. So then they do all this stuff with the hide and everything. And
oh wait, can we talk about his daughter?
Oh no, we're gonna get to that in just 2 seconds. Hold on. I'm going through this chronologically. We'll talk about it now. Okay, so his daughter gets dropped off, right? And what did you think?
Yeah, because she couldn't get a cab. Like when your daughter was like in middle school or whatever, would you let her take a cab?
No,
I would.
No, absolutely not. She was way too young. And I love how she used like term like chocolatite. Like, what's a chocolatite? I don't know what that is. And I'm like a 90s kid. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
And he says good word usage. I did have it wrote down to Google that. I did not.
Word usage or chocolatite?
Both. I know what word usage is, but to see if she actually used it correctly, to see what it meant and to see if she used it correctly. Because as we have found when we review these movies and we talk about them in depth, a lot of these writers don't know what they're doing.
Right on. Okay. So a chocolatite is a prehistoric black troglodyte, not to be confused with a oh Jesus Christ. Chocolatites were famous for their act of hitting their women in the head with a giant clubs and dragging them back to the caves.
So how is that
for butt sex?
For
butt sex.
How is that a good word use? This is where we're gonna have this conversation. Because right before she says that, she said she doesn't even have Sega. She's such a troglodyte. How is that good word use? Is she hitting her over the head with a club and dragging her away?
All right, so I'm looking at Wikipedia now. It says a troglodyte is a human cave dweller from the Greek trogle hole, household, okay. Or so it looks like
a little. So she's saying it's like a female caveman. Like
yeah.
She's saying
so that makes more sense. That makes
way more sense than
your Urban Dictionary. Don't look up your meanings there, everybody. Okay. All right. So they get all their equipment. We're not going to go over that. And the daughter, he says the famous words of "Don't listen to anything I say." And I'm like, oh,
and she hitches a ride on the super bus. Whatever
you made a mistake, fucker.
Trailer. So then she admits her mistakes later.
Yeah. So then they go to the island, right? And the captain of the ship doesn't want anything to do with the island because it's cursed or whatever. It's the 5 deaths, like you said before. And I love how
both
Vince
get
Vaughn,
too close and the crew disappears.
Right. And I love how Vince Vaughn is pretending like he knows Spanish in this movie. And I'm like, oh, you've never taken a Spanish class in your entire life, fucker. So
he's probably like the rest of us. He took a couple years in high school and remembers nothing but El Baño. The truth?
Oh my God, that's so true. Although my teacher did say I should continue with Spanish because I was very good at the accent and everything. Like I was all like, me encantan las mujeres hermosas. Anyways, okay, so
my favorite line that I remember, and I'm only going to say this because I do, is now I'm not going to remember it because I'm drunk, but it was like, the pescado drinks the pescado drinks the la leche or some shit like that. It was pretty much the fish drinks the milk, which still to this day, I'm like, how is that a sentence that anyone should have learned in Spanish?
Right on. So then they get to the island, right? And they're traveling through or whatnot. And not Ian Malcolm, Vince Vaughn's character starts taking pictures, okay? Because he's fascinated with these stegosauruses.
Because he's a wildlife photographer.
Oh, yeah.
He's all about the Pulitzer that he's going to get.
Yeah. And while he's doing that, and I have thoughts about this, he is taking pictures, and then Julianne Moore, okay, they're yelling out Sarah. And they're like, Sarah, what is her, Henderson? And he's like, yeah.
Sarah Moore. Sarah Moore.
And he's like, yeah, because there's more than one Sarah on this island or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. Calm down, Vince Vaughn. So then he starts taking pictures. And Julianne Moore's character is taking pictures. Now, she is so close to them that I'm like, how did you not hear them yelling Sarah? Okay.
I had that thought too.
Right. And then she turns around and she sees Vince Vaughn and she's like, hey, Alan, or whatever the hell his name is. And he fakes trips and she's like, and my acting right now is better than her acting in this movie.
Which you would expect good acting from Julianne Moore.
Oh my God, I love Julianne Moore. She's so great. I can't say enough nice things about Julianne Moore.
Because if you look at her filmography, she is just in spectacular role after spectacular role. It's very rare that she's got shit roles on there, so you expect more. So when she has a moment like that, you're like, oh girl, did you have to pee really bad so you just wanted to get this done?
Right. Yeah. So then Ian sees her and she's like, oh, I knew you'd be mad, but I didn't want to tell you. And I'm like,
oh no, she says, I can't believe that Hammond convinced you to come.
Yeah, right. And then by the way, I just want to say the product placement in this movie is ridiculous. Okay, so then she goes,
so
is
much.
Is that an icon? And I'm all like, oh, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. But she takes it and she's like, I'm gonna take pictures of this baby dinosaur. And she gets all super close to her, right?
And Ian's freaking out. Why she gotta get so close? Why she gotta touch? She's always gotta touch.
He's giving us some great commentary. As the baby freaks out over the shutterfly of it and everything, and the stegosauruses attack, right? What were your thoughts on the CGI of this scene?
Oh, I liked this scene. The only problem is they gave up way easier than I think a predator would give up on a human attacking being in fear of their child's life. Like how later in the movie, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, that those mom and dads just don't stop. I feel like these would have done the same, and they try to hit that log she's in one time and they're like, oh, I must have gotten her, I'm done.
Yes, me and you are on the same page. Like, it's like they hit the tail with the one thing and they're done. They're like, oh, this bitch learned her lesson. And I'm all like,
and I feel like I did think the little wordplay with Ian Malcolm's character was quite funny in that little of, they're going for the low-hanging fruit on the guy's, like, he's like, shoot him, and the guy's like, they're just trying to protect their baby.
Oh,
yeah. And I'm like, ooh, that's kind of funny in the we're going for the low-hanging fruit on this one. So yeah, but I'm like, there's no way they would have given up that easily.
I agree 100%. So then they're
arguing.
They're arguing and stuff, and she's trying to make her point and everything, and he's like, oh, fuck that noise. And then they see a fire. Because he's
lived through this. There's nothing she can say that is going to make him go, oh, you know what? You're right. Hang out with the dinosaurs.
Right, exactly. So then there's a fire at the campsite. And they get there, and I love how Julianne Moore's character is all like, don't use water, it'll send up smoke. Use the dirt and everything. I'm like, okay, whatever here. What was that bear's name? Smokey. So then the daughter comes out and she's like, I wanted to have dinner ready before you came home. And I was like, oh, get the hell out of here with your nonsense.
And then she says something and I go, this is a child covering their tracks, because she goes, I wanted to have dinner ready when you came back. Yeah, that's it. And I'm like, you're not supposed to say, yeah, that's it, when you're saying your lie.
I agree with you 100%. So he's pissed off that she came, which I'm like, I get it, dude. I'm like, children are the worst. They ruin everything. And so then him and Julianne Moore are still arguing about the fact that she came and how he's not there. And she's like, what about the time that you didn't save me during that dinner with your parents and you didn't show up? And I'm like, what? He didn't show up to a dinner? What? What's going on? They probably paid.
And how come she's the first one bitching? Because if we didn't show up at a dinner with our mom and only our spouses showed up,
our mother would listen. You didn't show up to this dinner.
I raised you better than that.
You are a representation of me, and I would have showed up 20 minutes early. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's exactly how she would have been.
And then she'd bring it up like for the next year. Every time you do anything good, you do something great, and she'd be like, "Oh, well, that was nice, but remember when you didn't show up to dinner?
Remember
how devastating that was, and what a waste of my dinner that was."
Oh yeah. She remember that time I scheduled us a dinner at Red Lobster. And you showed up 20 minutes late.
The cheddar biscuits were delicious.
Yeah. I had the crab cakes and then I had to wait. Yeah, that's exactly how it would have been. Okay. Yeah. So then after that, all right. So we're getting so then
so we're getting way sidetracked a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But it's super fun. It's super fun. Hey, it's for our Patreon. It's for our members and everything. So then these helicopters start showing up, and it's Hammond.
So Ian couldn't get the satellite phone yet again not to work, just like in the garage.
Yeah. And then all these helicopters show up, and it is Hammond's nephew. He's bringing all these people to capture dinosaurs for their
creating Noah's Ark.
For San Diego Jurassic Park, which I'm all like, yeah, that sounds great. I love the bald guy that was like a hunter. He was like, my fee is that I get to hunt a T-Rex. I'm like, that's your fee?
A buck.
Yeah. I'm like,
T-Rex.
Yeah, I'd rather take the dollars, but whatever. Okay, so then they start the hunt for all these dinosaurs. And I just have to say, I did laugh when the one dinosaur that like smashed that one dude through the car. I was like, that's hilarious. That's so good. You deserve that shit.
Even the second one, when he like whips his head, the guys go like flying through the air. And I went, did they not inform you guys what you were capturing in advance? Yeah. These are dinosaurs. They did have some fun contraptions though.
Oh, absolutely. I love how the one guy was all like, push me out, and then he went like 2 feet and he like shot that dinosaur, and then he like brought back in. I was like, what was the point of that? That's weird, but whatever. And then the bald guy with Kashmir Rajneesh, I don't remember his name, was they went into the belly of the T-Rex, right?
The den, yeah.
The den, yes. And they captured a baby T-Rex, and they break its femur or whatever.
Which is so mean. It's a baby. Mean. I mean, granted, it's going to grow up and eat you, but still just a baby.
Yeah, as soon as they did that, as soon as I found that they broke his, I was like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? I'm like, yeah. So
I literally go, I hope the mom eats you.
Yeah, which she doesn't, because that's, he gets out at the right time. So then the camp, right? Okay, so this is the part where Vince Vaughn is all like, John Hammond knew they were sending another team, so he had a backup plan. And like, what's the backup plan?
Turns into MacGyver,
right? And I'm all like, what's going on here, Vince Vaughn, you fat piece of shit? All he does is he breaks some padlocks,
like lock cutters. What are those things called?
Yeah, and I'm all like, yeah, I could do that. Okay, you crazy person.
Little small arms could have been like,
yeah, exactly. So he releases all the dinosaurs, and it causes panic within the camp or whatnot. It ruins the nephew's presentation to the stockholders and everything, which I was like, okay, great. And then Vince Vaughn, he takes the T-Rex and he brings it back to their little double RV, right? And they're trying to fix its broken femur, which I was like, that's nice and everything. But then, as they're doing that, the real quick. The daughter is all like, Dad, something's going to hear this. I want to get up high. So he takes her up to the high. I want to talk about the high for just a second, if you're cool with that.
But first, can we go that Ian Malcolm missed a great parenting moment of the, but wait, you wanted to be here. You snuck away to be here. This is the consequences of your choices.
Right. Yeah.
Deal with it.
Right. Yeah. Ain't that the truth? And they get in the high. Now, I want to talk about the high for 2 seconds, okay? The high.
That's a terrible name.
Yeah, how big was the fucking tree that the high was hanging from? Because it was above the tree line of the rest of the jungle that we could see the T-Rexes traveling through.
Yes, and how did they get the little line that pulled it up over the top?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this I have, and this is not the only instance where this has happened, where I'm just like, what's going on here? You're not explaining anything, and this makes no sense. But they get in the high, which I'm like, all right, fine, it's fine or whatever. And then so then Julianne and Vince Vaughn, they fix the dinosaur, but it's a little too late because the T-Rexes, they show up after they didn't answer the phone, which I'm all like, true to form, they don't answer the phone. Women, can you answer the phone, please? Is it possible?
And
please?
when Vince Vaughn goes to answer the phone, she's all like, "I need you here. That can wait."
Right. So, and I want to comment on one other thing. I love how when she's like, spit, and he spits in her hand, and she meant the gum. And I'm all like, you're fucking gross, dude. Okay. Anybody with a brain could realize she meant the gum, not spit with your
Especially if that's
saliva.
what she was talking about.
Yeah,
She was like, I need
exactly.
something that's pliable, that's going to naturally break away. And we all know gum is sticky, and then eventually it's not.
Yeah. So the T-Rexes, they attack their little RV, and rightfully so, they tested Mama Bear, and you don't test Mama Bear. I've learned a lesson from that.
Yeah, no, you don't do it.
So Mama Bear and Daddy show up, and they fuck up that RV like hardcore. Yeah. And this part, like, even though I love this part, you can totally tell whether there was like wiring and like green screen
and it
stuff.
Makes no sense. There's so much of this part that makes no sense,
but I still loved it. But
absolutely loved it.
Yeah, but
like
then
the guy, what's his name, up in the high comes down with his little Jeep, and his Jeep is all of a sudden strong enough to keep the RV from falling.
Yeah, and then he gets ripped in half by the T-Rexes, which I was like, oh, bummer. Probably the only nice person in this movie gets torn to shreds. But ain't that way life goes?
Oh, and when the RV falls, it falls perfectly down. Like, if my mic is Julianne and Ian and Vince Vaughn, it's and misses everything inside of it, misses them.
Yeah,
which that was a great motion. I apologize for those of you that can
see. Yeah, exactly. So then they get saved by the baddies, and they decide they're going to go to this little town. And
it's the visitor center, just like on the original island.
Well, they kept saying the town in the movie.
Village. Yeah, they kept calling it the village. But when they get there, it's exactly like the visitor center on the original island.
It even says Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Apologies. So they're going with the bald guy, and they're walking, and his second in command, he takes a break.
He's a dick from the moment they get on this island. He deserves everything he gets.
Yeah, so he tells, I believe Charlie is his name.
Carlos.
He tells him he's gonna go to the ladies' room, right? So he's gonna, and we all know what that means. He's gonna go poop.
Yeah.
And so he goes, and he gets attacked by the little dinosaurs, the compies.
That he shocked earlier when he first got to the island.
And Carlos wasn't hearing him because he had his headphones in, which I'm like, Carlos, way to be an asshole.
On.
Wait, what?
He had a Walkman on his waist and the headphones.
Which I have to tell you right now, I have talked to my wife about buying a Walkman from eBay and everything. And I remember Walkman, I had this yellow one. It was like a Sony Sports one and everything. The best. With the headphones that go... It was so good. Kids don't know anything these days.
No.
Anyways, so he doesn't hear him, which I go, why didn't you double check with him? So he gets attacked by the compies. And then they... Do you
think it's in that group of compies, it's that same one he shocked that's getting his ass back for that?
I don't know. That I couldn't.
I believe it is. I believe he's in that group.
But he falls over a log, and he's like... and everything, and then there's just a stream of red blood flowing through the water. I'm like, what the cock is this shit? I want to see him. Like, at one point he's getting like his lip chewed by the compies, and then I'm like, you don't show his death? What?
But it's the same with the little girl. Like, I get them not showing us because it was a little girl, but I wanted to see it. Were they like trying to eat her fingers?
Yeah,
Were they snipping
exactly.
at her toes in her little sandals? And the same with this guy. Was one like hanging off of his ear like an earring?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
come on. Show me how
So
those little
then,
guys can rip him apart.
yeah, exactly. So I was very disappointed in that sense of it. And while we're going on this, Vince Vaughn takes the bullet out of the bald guy's gun, which
Yes.
the only reason I mentioned that is because I wrote down notes. I have thought, because he says a line later where he's all like, I guess they'll never get these or some crap like that. And
No,
he
he says
drops,
this is it's about a souvenir. That's one souvenir they're not taking
yeah,
home.
and then he drops on the helicopter. I'm like, way to save lives, asshole. Anyways,
But I'm like, but wait, they get the souvenir because that guy was just gonna hunt the T-Rex and they get the
exactly.
T-Rex. So you didn't stop
Exactly.
anything.
So then the bald guy goes, like, he goes to find
Oh, we forgot to
what's,
mention they're traveling through the Raptors
yeah, we're
area
gonna
to
get to
get
that.
to this
Yeah,
place.
2 seconds, 2 seconds.
Oh, my bad.
So he's like, I'm gonna go find this asshole that got eaten already. And I love
Diedrich, is that
how,
his name?
what?
Is his name like Diedrich? For some
I'm
reason,
just
that's
calling
coming
him.
to my mind.
I'm just, hold on, I'll look it up real quick. But then Peter, hold on. Yeah, his name is Hembo.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on. No, hold on. You give me 2 seconds. Yeah, Tembo.
Huh.
He Ronald Tembo. He is okay. So then, um, Eris, Airless Howard, which is John Hammond's nephew. He's like, all right,
Peter.
guys, let's get up and let's go. And then nobody gets up. And I was like, oh, what a fucking soy boy right here. What a fucking pussy. And then Vince Vaughn, who does not strike me as a man's man, he's like, come on, everybody, let's go. And I'm all like, Vince Vaughn, stop it. You're just as much as a pussy as this guy. I wouldn't follow you either. But they all get up and they all go, right?
Yeah.
And so then we get to where they're all taking a break, right? They're all sleeping, right? And while they're sleeping, the T-Rex shows up, right? And we hear
Because Julianne Moore's got the baby's blood on her coat.
Yes, and she hides the Nestle, which I'm like, product placement, creme de la cour or whatever.
And I don't think the T-Rex could give two shits about the Nestle's bar.
Right. But she turns off the light, and then the T-Rex shows up, and I love how that guy's like, that guy wakes up and he's like, hey! And then Ian Malcolm's like, don't move, and I'm like, hey, asshole, nobody's listening to you right now. Nobody's listening.
That's like saying, don't look behind you. It's the first thing you do.
Yeah, so they're all running, right? And then I love how they go into that waterfall, right?
Yeah.
And that one guy is all like, it's a snake. And I'm like, is the snake biting you yet? Then don't worry about it, okay? Because there's a T-Rex licking you with its tongue, its big ass tongue, its big dick tongue.
Right now it's figuring out which one of you is the appetizer and which one of you is the dessert.
Exactly. So then after that, they're walking, and they get to the grasslands where the raptors are hunting. And I love how after they get in, the Kashmir Rajneesh guy is all like, don't go into the grasslands. And I'm like, oh, now you tell them after they've gone in and the raptors are coming in, they're like circling in.
Yep.
What did you think about this scene?
I just went, oh, y'all got what you deserved.
For sure. I love the one guy that was all like, he turned and his light was like shining. He's like, ah! And then the raptor jumped on him. I'm like, oh, good for you, pussy.
There were a lot of girly screams in this section.
For sure. And so then after we get past all of that, Ian Malcolm and his band of women make it to
because first though Nick decides he's the hero of the group and separates from everyone and says something like, well, if you can keep up with me, because he's gonna go to the radio room and make the call.
Oh yeah. He
rescue.
and he makes it. You said Nick, Vince Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it and he calls the helicopters. And
but
then,
because he's separated from the group, nobody knows.
Yeah, for sure. And then so Julianne Moore, the little girl, I don't remember her name, and Ian Malcolm, they all make it to like this weird little, I don't know, little area. And then the raptors attack them. And Julianne Moore and that little girl are inside a shed, but it's like a 2-layer shed.
It looks like to me like one of those buildings that's like attached to like a silo or a, farmy thingy.
Right on. And so they're trying to dig their way out as the raptors come in from the front or whatever, and Ian Malcolm's stuck inside a car. Anyways, so I love how the daughter by the way, I didn't mention this before. She's been kicked off the gymnastic team. And then all of a sudden, right. And then all of a sudden she starts flipping and tucking and rolling.
She sees a bar and thinks she's in the uneven parallel bars competition at the Olympics.
Yeah, and it's all perfectly set up for her.
And don't you feel like the fact that the raptor just sat there and watched her spin, that's not how that would have happened? He would have just jumped up and picked her right off. Like that, her little gymnastics move saves the group.
Right. And then it gets stabbed and she's all like, and then she lands after she does like a little whoop-de-whoop. And then the dad's all like, they kicked you off the team. And I'm all like, oh, get out of here. This is ridiculous. But I'm here for it.
I go to in this movie, like, I don't care what sport you play, but in the middle of a situation where you're fighting dinosaurs, your first thought is, oh, that one move I learned on Thursday would be perfect here.
Right.
I don't like, why? I mean, I love it, and I'm here for it. But in all reality, I'm like, why did she do that?
Right. I'm 100% with you. So then, Julianne Moore, she escapes on the roof because she's, I don't know, being weird. And she causes a fight within the raptor people, the little species or whatever. Okay. And she escapes. So then
she's got the tiles.
Yes, the tiles. Yeah, the roof tiles. And so then they all escape on the helicopter that Vince Vaughn set up.
Yeah.
But John Hammond's nephew captures the T-Rex and the baby T-Rex, which he's bringing back to San Francisco because San Diego, sorry. Oh, does it even matter? It's all in California. What a big pile of shit.
But the baby went on his private jet.
Yes.
And the T-Rex is on a giant boat, a barge.
On the giant boat, which I want to talk about that. Okay, so.
Yes. So now we're at the port.
Yeah, so we're at the port where Ian Malcolm has showed up, but InGen has brought in all these famous rich people or whatever. And then they're all like, yeah, the boat's coming in too fast and it crashes into the dock. All right. Now, when they go up, excuse me. Here's a question I have for you. When they go on the boat, right, that's crashed into the dock. Sorry. I didn't believe that the T-Rex attacked all these people because there was like an arm on the wheel, but the cabin was completely fine.
Big.
Yeah, I'm like, how did the T-Rex get in there and eat them?
And the baby I would have believed it if the baby was on the boat because the baby could have walked right through that door. But I'm like you. I'm like, did a raptor? Did they have other dinosaurs on the boat?
That's what I thought when I first saw this movie in the theater. I thought it was the raptors, but no, it was the T-Rex. And I was like,
no, it
what?
wasn't. The T-Rex's nose isn't fitting through that door, nor
Yeah.
are his little T-Rex arms. It's not happening.
So then the T-Rex.
Can we ask why no one thought that the T-Rex was in the cargo hold? What did they think? He went for a swim halfway through the trip?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was yawning. Exactly that. Yeah. Like that whole scenario, I was all like, I would be so cautious. It's like ridiculous. So then the T-Rex breaks through and he goes on a rampage through.
He goes to a subdivision.
Yeah, through San Diego. And Julianne Moore called it. She's like, he's going to be thirsty because he's going to be hydrated. And then he's going to
go looking for his baby.
Yeah. So he goes to a suburban pool where I'm like, I'm sorry, but did the chlorine taste delicious? Are you like, chlorine? I love it.
He ran away from the giant ocean that he was like next to. And he chose a pool in the middle of a subdivision at the end of a cul-de-sac. That was the best option.
Right. And I love how the parents are like arguing and then they see the T-Rex and he's eating the dog and they're all like, after the kid takes the picture. Now, I have a theory that the T-Rex ate those parents.
Oh, I think he ate them all.
Yeah,
I think the minute that flash happened, he just went.
Yeah, which I'm like, good job, kid. You got your whole family killed.
Yep.
And then Ian Malcolm and Julianne Moore, they go to the San Francisco Jurassic Park Zoo and they get the baby. And they then are strolling through San Diego with this baby, which, by the way, the T-Rex is eating a dude off screen because he tucks him behind a car to eat him. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, boo on you. I want to see guts and everything.
I did like Ian Malcolm's statement when Julianne Moore goes, how are we going to find him? And he goes, follow the screams.
Right.
And then it goes straight to the lady in her little Buick screaming.
Yeah, for sure. And then they get the T-Rex to follow him with the dinosaur back to the docks because the ship has the proper loading stuff to keep him isolated or whatnot. And the rich dude, that's the nephew, he follows them. And they get on the ship, they put the baby in the cargo hold, and then they jump off ship. But then the rich kid, he's all like trying to capture the little baby T-Rex, and then Daddy T-Rex shows up. And he injures him, and then he sets the baby T-Rex to hunt him. Which I was like, ooh, good on you, because he deserved it.
And I was like, that's such a good parent thing. Like, look, this is how you hunt. You cripple it first, now eat it.
Yeah, eat it. Delicious. And then they send that ship back to the island.
Can we talk about this for a minute?
Yeah.
Would they send it back to the island? I feel like because they show it on the news and it's circled by aircraft carriers and destroyers and everything from multiple countries. Would they send it back to the island, or would they just get out far enough in the ocean and just say, sink it?
Now, I would say back then, sink it, but because it was 97. But now that it's 2023, I would say
dinosaurs have rights too.
Yeah, for sure. And even John Hammond is all like, we need to let these creatures live out their lives, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like,
they did 65 million years ago.
Yeah. And they just show this montage of T-Rexes living together with other dinosaurs. So here, hold on. And the movie ends with a montage of all the dinosaurs living simpatico together. You know, there's a pterodactyl landing on a branch. It's like, and everything. And the T-Rexes are by the Stegosaurus.
I have never understood that in any of the movies except for the newer ones. Like in all the old ones, they show the I forgot the word. The birds.
The bird.
Pterodactyl. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're hard. Words are hard. They showed the pterodactyls flying, but in the newer ones, they're inside a dome area because they're mean fuckers.
Right, which is very much like the book.
Yeah, but why in the old ones were they just flying free and they didn't go anywhere outside of the island?
That's an
but in the new
question.
Ones, they're confined because they're mean fuckers. You know what I mean? I just don't understand.
Question. Right on.
Because I've never read anything that says pterodactyls are nice.
Right. Oh my gosh, I agree.
They've got like the little razor teeth and
yeah. They sound like mean fuckers.
Right? They don't sound like nice birds. They're no parrots, let me tell you.
And we will discuss them in our next review of Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
And Jurassic World, because they show up there. But
they are there too. Yeah. You are correct. Yeah, they show their true colors there.
Yeah, they do. But yeah. All right. So overall, do you have anything else you want to say about this movie?
No. Well, I mean,
would you recommend this movie?
Absolutely. Even with all the things we've pointed out that are problems, I don't give a shit. That's still a great movie.
I agree.
Who gives a fuck that the pterodactyl's flying free or that the little high is higher than any of the trees in the forest, including the one it's in? Who cares? It's so fun.
I agree. I love this movie.
Do you remember the toy? I think you guys had the high.
No, they didn't have the high as a toy, but they had like other, like they had the little dinosaurs that had the skulls and everything that push or whatever.
Yeah. And they had the little double trailer.
Yeah, they had a lot of toys, but they didn't have the high. And if they did, I didn't have it.
No.
Okay. So let's move on to our next section of this review, and that is our question section. And we're going to start off with your question. What is your question, Vetta?
My question is, what is your favorite Julianne Moore movie?
All right. I don't want to get political, but mine is Game Change. Game Change, where she plays Sarah Palin. I just like the accent where she's all like, I can see Alaska, I can see Russia from my house and everything. I just love that accent that she puts on. She does a great job, and I really like it. It's a view into politics that we've never seen before, and I really enjoy it. And she does a great job. What about you?
Like, I had two that I debated between, but I went with one of her newer films called After the Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
I really like it. It's where she's uber rich and she's going to donate like $20 million to an orphanage in India. And Michelle Williams is in the movie as the orphanage director or whatever. But Julianne Moore's like, you have to come to New York to finish it or whatever. Well, Michelle Williams has no idea that Julianne Moore's character, I'm ruining this for anyone, I'm so sorry, has no idea that he is her childhood sweetheart and they had a baby together, and she gave the baby up for adoption and he adopted it, and him and Juliette Moore raised the baby. But Julianne Moore knows all of this and is dying and has brought like to reunite mother and daughter together and stuff. Like, it's a really good movie. I really like it. I debated between that, and mostly because this movie made me laugh and it has Jeff Goldblum in it. But I really love the movie 9 Months too that she's in,
right,
with Hugh Grant. I think that movie's hysterical. But I just saw recently, like within the last like month, the After the Wedding, and I really liked it, and she's really good in it. So that's my pick. So what's your question?
Great. Okay, so my question is, what is your favorite dinosaur movie that is not a Jurassic Park movie?
I love this question because it brought up a movie franchise in my head that I absolutely love. And even as an adult, I was so happy to show it to my kids and everything, and they loved it. But it's The Land Before Time.
Oh my God, I love The Land Before Time. I wish I wrote that down. It's so good. I love The Land Before Time. Land Before Time, what is it, number like 7? It's so good. Yeah. I love that.
Love them with Littlefoot.
Oh my God, Littlefoot and Sarah and what are the rest of their names? Oh my God, yeah.
I love that.
So good.
So good.
Okay.
So what was your pick?
Oh, mine was Dinosaur by Disney. The reason I picked this is because I recently watched this with my kids, but I wish I would remember Land Before Time. Sorry, I've been drinking, so I'm slurring my words. Sorry, guys. You signed up for this. But I'm slurring my words.
More of this.
Yeah. It's Dinosaur by Disney. I remember seeing this movie at a drive-in with our oldest brother. And I love this movie. It's so good. It's heartwarming. It's really a great movie. The animation is great. Everything is great about it. But I love it. But I wish I would have said Land Before Time because that's a part of my childhood and I love it.
Your kids would love that. That should be one of your Sunday night movies.
For sure.
You can do the whole franchise.
Well, we have watched Land Before Time. I just should do the whole series.
Yeah, I just absolutely love it. Like when my kids were little, there were only like 3 Land Before Times, so we didn't have a month-long worth of movie nights.
I am running out of movies, so that is a good series because there's like 13 of them. So I have a good like 3 months of movies to watch. So that's great.
They're so great. I love everything about those movies.
Right on.
They're just
Is there anything else you wanted to say about this movie?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, me too. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BSDrunkPod to stay updated. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it, and it really helps us out a lot. We'll also be posting this video to our YouTube channel next season 5. So be sure to subscribe to us there. And that is YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. All right, bye, you guys.